Welcome everybody. Welcome. Give everyone a second to come into the room. Let me know where you guys are tuning in from. Let me know. We're gonna get started in a second. Hello. Welcome everybody. Super excited to be here with you guys today. Y'all ready to get into this? Y'all ready to learn how to start investing? Oh man, where's my water? I didn't bring my water. Oh no. All right, y'all ready to get into it? Let me know where you guys are tuning in from. Actually, give me a second. Let me grab my water because I'm about to be talking for a lot. Let me know where y'all are tuning in from. I'm gonna grab my water. I'll be right back. Let me know. All right, welcome everyone. Hello, Tisha, James, Jane, Giselle, Nicole, Lily. You guys are coming in from all over. I love it. I'm seeing Alabama. We got North Carolina. Let's see what else we got here. Awesome. Austin, Texas, Orlando, New York. I love it. Welcome everybody. Welcome. I'm super excited for the webinar today. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right. So today's masterclass is all about investing in 2026, how to start investing and what to watch for. So I'll be sharing with you a few of the stocks that are on my watch list with you guys. I'll be sharing with you guys 23 different investments that I actually already personally own and I think are just going to have some really, really great opportunities for this year. Okay, you guys ready to get into it? Let's go. All right, so the legalities, the content in this masterclass is for educational purposes only. We are not investment advisors. We are not trying to sell you securities. You're responsible for your trading and investment results, both gains and losses. Okay, finance is demystified. All individuals affiliated assume no responsibilities for your trading and investment decisions. Okay. All right. So a few quick reminders for this masterclass, right? So this masterclass is going to take about 40 to 60 minutes. If you miss something, do not worry. We are going to send you guys a replay. Okay. We are going to send you guys a replay. So do not worry. Now, you'll also notice that there is a question in, there's a chat box on the side of the screen. And sometimes the chat can get really, really, really chatty. So if you can, try to drop your questions in the Q&A section. I know some of you guys may be watching on YouTube. I'm going to try to watch those questions as well. And myself or someone from my team, Giselle or Julie, will answer the questions that I do not see. Okay. All right. So what is this session really about, right? What is this session really about? Now, before I dive into this watch list, let's talk about what today is truly all about, right? Because information by itself, let me tell you something, it does not build wealth, right? There's a lot of information out here. There's a lot of people that know a lot and still don't got a dime to their name, right? And also, if it did, every single person on YouTube would definitely also be a millionaire, right? But what builds wealth, honestly, is truly a system, a support structure, and a repeatable process, y'all. A repeatable process that you can follow whether the market is up, down, or sideways. Okay. So yes, I am going to show you exactly what I've actually already bought and buying in 2026, but I'm also going to show you what separates the people who actually start to build wealth and actually build wealth from the people who just collect information. All right. And if you stay until the end, and I hope you do, you are going to walk away knowing exactly what your next step should be. All right. With clarity and with confidence. That is the goal. All right. So before we move on and get deep into this, I want to just check real quick. Type in the chat. All right. What you're here for, right? And no overthinking this. Give me an I if you are here mainly just learn some information. All right. There's nothing wrong with that. Or give me a T if you are here because you want real true transformation with your money. Okay. Give me an I if you're just here for some information. Give me a T if you want some real true transformation with your money. Let me see what we got here. We got I people, we got T people. Let me know. Let me know. Let me see what we got. I'm loving it. Yay. Shout out to all my T people, my T's, my transformation people, right? I love that, right? Because information is easy. You can get information anywhere. Unfortunately, most people get information, right? Because it is easy to find, but they literally never do anything with it, right? And transformation happens when you learn and take action, okay? Transformation happens when you learn and take action, okay? And today you are going to do both. That is the goal, right? You guys are going to do both. So I want to ask you guys too, are you in the right place? Do you feel like you're in the right place today? I do. I feel like I'm in the right place to deliver this information to you guys. Today. And I want to make sure that you're in the right place because this session is not for everyone, right? And I want to remind you that you do not need to be an expert. You do not need a bunch of money. You do not need to understand charts yet, right? But you do need to be ready to stop guessing and start building a true, real system with your money, right? And if you're someone who wants clarity, consistency, and confidence, you're exactly where you should be, all right? So if you are ready, we're about to jump into it. Let me get it ready in the chat. I know I already got y'all doing a lot of work. Y'all gonna be working today, right? I'm not gonna be just talking. Let me get it ready in the chat if you guys are ready. Let me see those readies. Let me see those readies. I love it. I love it. Awesome. So for those of you who are completely brand new to me, my name is Dominique Broadway. I'm an award-winning financial planner, personal finance expert, the founder of Finances Demystified. I have spoken on stages all across the world, from Singapore to Toronto to so many other places in between. I was also named one of the best money experts in the US by Go Banking Rates and one of the top financial advisors in the US for millennials by Money Under 30. I've also gone on to educate over 600,000 people since having this company, Finances Demystified, which has been absolutely phenomenal. I have also been featured in tons of publications, from Forbes to Next Advisor to Cheddar to so many other awesome publications. And also one of my favorite is the article about me in Time/Next Advisor, talking about my daughter Dawson, who at time was only 18 months old, and how she's on track to be a millionaire by the age of 16, and now she's currently 6 years old, actually. So that is one of my absolute favorite things. And also, I'm also now the author of the best-selling book, The Wealth Decision. So if you have not gotten my book, please make sure that you grab it. It's anywhere that books are sold: Audible, all the Target. What else? We are going to Target, right? Still, I'm not sure. Walmart, Amazon, everywhere that books are sold. And if you want me to read the book to you, you can grab it on Audible. Okay. So let me tell you guys really quickly about my own personal turning point. So my own personal turning point was when I was 16 years old, right? I was 16 years old, and I realized when I was 16 that I did not want to have to trade hours for dollars my entire life, right? I'm like, I don't want to have to trade hours for dollars my entire life. How is it that rich people are getting rich? How are they growing their wealth? How are they doing this, right? It seems like they're not working as hard as everyone else that seems to not have a dollar to the name. And I realized that it was pretty much three ways that the rich people were getting rich, growing their wealth, and pretty much growing their wealth, right? It was pretty much three ways: entrepreneurship, real estate, and the stock market. Okay. So at the time when I was 16, I had already dabbled in entrepreneurship. I didn't have enough money to buy a house. So I said, let me figure out this whole stock market thing. So I went to my family. I said, hey, family, I want to learn how to invest. Can you teach me how to invest? And they're like, I'm gonna be honest with you, we know a little bit, but we don't really know tons, right? And this might be like many of you guys, right? You have a retirement account, right? But you are on probably like, girl, I couldn't even tell you what any of this stuff means, right? I was talking to one of my mastermind students yesterday, and we were going through her TSP, and she's like, girl, I don't really know what any of this stuff is, right? And so if you feel that way, like you're like, hey, I have this retirement account, but I don't understand how this honestly works, let me get a me in the chat, because I want people to know it's probably not just you, it's a lot of others that probably feel the same way. Okay. So I went to my family, and they're just like, we don't really know tons, but my grandfather and my mom bought me some books. My grandfather did work for the federal government. He had a TSP, which is thrift savings plan. And he said, take my TSP statement and see what you can figure out, basically. And I did just that. I started reading about the C fund, the G fund, the I fund, all the funds that were in that account. I started just doing more research. And About 2 weeks later, I made my very first investment. Okay. And let me tell you, I had to read magazines and books and all the things because it wasn't no YouTube. It wasn't no YouTube back then, no YouTube University. The internet was around, but it wasn't interneting the way it was now, right? So I took $50. I put $25 into Jones Soda and $25 into Apple stock. That Apple, and then over time, as I started making more money from working and getting money for birthdays, holidays, I would continue to add money to that portfolio. Okay. So April, yes, a TSP is a thrift savings plan. That is if you work for the federal government. That's what their like 401k is called, essentially, right? And so I took $50, started just slowly building up, right? $25 into Jones Soda, $25 into Apple stock. And over time, that started to grow, right? And I also just got really, really obsessed with the stock market. And I decided that I wanted to become a stockbroker. I'm like, I love this. This is what I wanted to do with my life. And so I ended up going to Bowie State University, which is an historically Black college in Bowie, Maryland. Let me know if anybody else went to HBCU. Shout them out in the chat. So I went to Bowie State University, majored in banking and finance, ended up getting a job at this company called UBS Financial Services. Now, the interesting thing is I had never really heard of that company before applying. And that's because they focus on high net worth individuals. I was not a high net worth individual at that time. I did not come from a family of high net worth individuals. And they focused on people that had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 billions and millions of dollars in assets, right? And so I ended up getting my getting an internship there, getting offered a full-time position. And then I ended up working at UBS Financial Services into becoming a licensed financial planner and advisor. Now, the interesting thing is when I was 22 years old, before I graduated college, and it took me an extra semester to graduate, but whatever. So it took me an extra semester to graduate, but I bought my first house at the age of 22 while I was still in college. And my friends were like, hold up. How did you move from your dorm to a condo and we all moved from our dorms back home with our parents? And I'm like, hold up, you guys haven't been saving and investing while you're in school? And they're like, no, like, how did you do that? And that was the first time I started realizing there was this huge gap in information, right? Huge gap in information, right? If you had money, we were basically banging on your door asking you to manage it. If you didn't, we're like, well, just call us when you get some money. So I'm like, well, how are these people supposed to figure out how to eventually even start investing and getting money if no one is willing to help? So God put it on my heart to quit my good job and start my company, Finances Mystified. This is this picture on the far right. I paid $1,000 for the booth, and that $1,000 felt like so much money at that time, right? And mind you, this was like 13 years ago since I started this company. And so I paid $1,000 for the booth at an event called For Sisters Only. Let me know if anybody remember For Sisters Only used to take place in DC. And that $1,000 investment has paid me back millions of times over. And also our students our students collectively have gone on to generate millions and millions of dollars with the information that they've learned and has changed so many people's lives. Okay. So just so you know, I am not just teaching theory, I am teaching what actually works, right? The simple systems that create freedom, that reduce stress, right? That's what I'll be sharing with you guys today. All right. And like I said, I have been so blessed to start this amazing company. We've generated a lot of money, but we've also helped so many people in the process. I've been featured on billboards in Times Square, spoken in front of thousands, and it has been an absolutely phenomenal journey. So just a friendly reminder that God's plan for your life is probably I can guarantee it's way better than anything that you could have ever planned for yourself. So thank you again, God, for giving me this amazing path. All right. So shout out to some of the schools, Teresa, also Bowie as well. I love it. We got Teresa, Bulls Ox. Okay. SSCU, HUSUBR. Am I frozen for y'all? Let me see what's happening here. What's happening? Oh no. Okay. SUBR, Savannah State University. Awesome. I love it, guys. All right. So let's keep going. Ooh, let me see. Oh, looks like something's happening here. Let me see. Can y'all still see me? I might be having a little. Uh-oh. Y'all still there? Let me see. Uh-oh. Let's see. Something's going on with web browsing. All right. Oh, we're back. Okay, perfect. Sorry, I don't know what just happened there. All right, so let's get into this. The whole thing just froze. I don't know what just happened. Anyway, we're here. So the inside information that you guys are going to learn today. All right. So, oh, Verizon. I don't think so. Oh, there is like a thing going on with Verizon, right? Okay, perfect. The video's back. Okay. I heard there's like something going on with Verizon. I don't know. This world is so crazy right now. We probably are going to have some cyber attacks real soon, y'all. Just FYI. Okay, but anyway, we're here. So here's what we're going to learn today. You're going to learn about what a stock is, right? I'm also going to share with you one of my favorite kind of secrets to building wealth, and then I'm going to hop over to Robinhood as long as the internet's working, and show you actually how to purchase a stock. And then I'll share with you what a watch list is, and then what my actual 2026 watch list is. Okay, does that sound good? We're all here with me. Perfect. All right. So what is a stock? What is a stock? So a stock essentially is when you have a share of ownership or a vested interest in a company. Okay. So you could have a share of ownership or a vested interest in any company that is a publicly traded company. Okay. So you'll see on this image right here, we have Apple, right? So Apple Incorporated is a publicly traded company, right? Now, some of you may also have stocks in companies that are like privately held company, right? Privately held companies, you may have gotten them through through working for them, or maybe even consulting or something of that nature. Or let's say myself, I'm an angel investor, so I have stocks in companies that are not publicly held companies. They're private companies, right? But we're talking specifically about public companies today. So you'll see here on this image, we have Apple Incorporated. All right. We have the ticker symbol. Apple's ticker symbol is AAPL. AAPL. Okay. Every company that's a publicly traded company has its own ticker symbol. So Apple is AAPL. Google is GOOG. They also have GOGL. Let's see. Southwest Airlines is LUV. Delta Airlines is DAL. NVIDIA is NVDA. Amazon is AMZN, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. Now you'll see on this screen right here the current price. Right now, this is an old image. Right. I like to keep an old image in, so I want you to see how much this stock price has changed. When this image was pulled, Apple was trading at $185.92. Now I want you guys to do me a favor. Don't leave me on this screen, but open up a separate tab, and I want you to go to Google and just type in AAPL. And I want you to tell me in the search what price what price Apple is trading at today. Let me know in the chat. What price is Apple trading at today? Let me know in the chat. What price is Apple trading at today? Awesome. Perfect. So 260.19, 260, 260.19, 260.15. Perfect. Now, keeping in mind that this, you're seeing different prices, right? All of you guys are probably seeing different prices. That's because right now the market's open and it's moving. Okay. And so, but you'll see that this stock has gone up very, very nicely from whenever this image was pulled. Okay. Anybody else owns Apple stock here? Let me know. All right. So that is essentially what a stock is. Going down to the bottom of the page, just want to highlight a couple things really quickly. We have the open, high, and low. That's what the stock price opened at when the stock market opened at 9:30 a.m. The highest that it went on that day, the lowest that it went on that day. The middle column, we have market cap. Market cap is short for market capitalization. Market capitalization is the total value of all of the publicly traded shares of Apple, just of Apple, right? So when this image was pulled, it was 2.89 trillion. Now I think it's actually over 4 trillion. So $4 trillion of just Apple stock. Insane. That's a lot, right? We also have PE ratio. So PE ratio is short for price earnings ratio. The higher the PE ratio, the better. Okay. A good PE ratio is like 12, 13, 14, but 40 obviously is, 30 is actually obviously very good. Then we have dividend yield under that. So the dividend yield tells us two things. One, it tells us that Apple does actually pay a dividend, and then what that yield is. So Apple pays their dividends every single quarter. Every quarter, Apple pays their dividends. Okay. And actually their dividends have been about 25 cents per share. So every single quarter, myself, my daughters, we get 25 cents for every single share that we own from Apple. And then we have our dividends set to reinvest. So that means that when Apple gives us money, right? So when Apple deposits money in my daughter's account or my account, I have it set to reinvest. So now Dawson's account is buying more shares of Apple with Apple's own money. One of my favorite things. Okay. So now Apple is buying more shares of itself with its own money. I love that. Okay. And then we have 52-week high and 52-week low. That's the highest that the stock has been in the last 52 weeks and the lowest that the stock has been in the last 52 weeks. Okay. All right. So now we know what a stock is. I'm going to show you really quickly how to actually purchase a stock. Okay. Give me 1 second to switch screens here. And I'm going to show you how to purchase a stock. Okay. And a second. So we'll just pull up one. All right, cool. So this is, okay, so this is Robinhood, all right? Now, you guys can use whatever platform you prefer to use, completely up to you. Does not matter. It's your decision, okay? But this is Robinhood. I like Robinhood. It's super, super user-friendly. It's just one of my favorite platforms to use, especially for trading and also for teaching for many of you guys who are completely brand new to this, okay? Now, if you wanted to actually go and purchase a share of stock, let me show you how simple it is, okay? So you would come over here, all right, and you would just make sure this is on buy, right? Make sure this is on buy. So you could say buy NVIDIA or sell NVIDIA, right? But in this situation, we're just buying it. So you would make sure this is on buy. Okay. And then you can buy in shares or you can buy in dollars. All right. So if you wanted to buy in shares, that means you want to buy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, buying whole shares. If you want to purchase in dollars, meaning, hey, I want to buy $1, $50, $1,000, whatever it may be, you would just type that in. So example, if I wanted to come over here and purchase shares, I would come over here and say, hey, I want to purchase 1 share, right? So 1 share would be 188.66 or so, or 15 shares would cost 2,800, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. You would click review order and then submit. All right. Now, if you want to purchase what we call fractional shares or just purchasing in dollars, you come over here and you could change this to dollars. So you're like, hey, I want to purchase $1, right? You could do that. Or if you wanted to purchase, see how much we only 20. So if I wanted to purchase $25,000, right? I could do that, right? It would give me 132 shares. You would click review order and then you would click submit. Okay. Super, super, super simple. Any questions about this? Any questions about that before we move on? All right. Cool. All right. So that cool. Any questions? Make sure we check the Q&A. I think we're good. Boop, boop, boop. All right, cool. No questions. Okay, awesome. So now that we know how to actually purchase a stock, super simple, right? Very, very simple. Now let's talk about really quickly what a watch list is. Okay, what a watch list is. So essentially what a watch list is, it's literally just a list of stocks that you are watching, that you invest in, that you trade or are considering to trade. That's pretty much all it is. Okay. And like I said, this right here, this watch list, it does not have to, it's not set in stone. You can change it. You can add things to it, take things away, whatever you want to do. You could totally do that as well. Okay. Now this watch list, as you'll see, you could put it wherever you want. So you could put it wherever you're actually already investing at. You could put it in, you could put it in a Stocks app if you have an Apple iPhone, TradingView, Robinhood, CNBC News, wherever you want to put it. Okay. But I always recommend that if you can, try to start with like 5 to 7 stocks, right? 5 to 7 stocks on your watch list, right? So you're not having too many that you're watching and too many that you're trying to like manage or navigate, I would say. Okay. I was going to say, yeah. So making sure you're not trying to watch too many. Now I'm going to show you 23 stocks in ETFs that I like and love for the year. But you don't necessarily have to add all these to your watch list. Like I said, 5 to 7 is a great place to start, especially if you're just getting started. Okay. Nina said, what should we set order type to when buying? So you're just putting it to buy. If you're just buying. I think it's just buy. Okay. All right. And it should automatically be on, let me see what it says exactly. It should automatically be on that when you click on it. All right. So order type. Yeah. Buy order. That's it. Okay. All right. So Let's keep going. Now we are going to jump into the watch list. All right. So we're going to jump into the actual watch list. And then once I'm done with this watch list, I'm going to show you like 3 or 4 different ways that you can make money with these stocks that I'm about to show you. Okay. All right. So this is the 2026 watch list. Y'all ready? I got y'all notes, pen and paper and all the things. I love it. I love it. Okay. Oops, sorry, y'all. Okay, I usually have a water bottle. It's easy to drink out of. Okay. Need to set limit loss. No, you're just doing a regular market order. If you're just buying stocks, so just keep it wherever the platform already is. We'll just keep it this way it is. You're just doing a market order. Okay. If you're just buying and holding, I would just do a market order. Okay, so 2026 watch list. All right, so I have this broken up by different industries. All right, industries or sectors or whatever you want to call it. Okay, so the first one we're going to jump into is technology and AI infrastructure. Technology and AI infrastructure. All right, so the first stock, obviously my boo thing, Apple, right? I love Apple, would never stop loving Apple. Okay. So Apple is the first one. Now, just also want to just show you how I have all this broken up so you can just kind of follow along. So at the top, I have the ticker symbol AAPL. Okay. And then I have the full name of the company at the top, Apple Inc. The sector is consumer technology for this one. So I have the sector and then why I have the small watch list. Okay. So let's go over this really quickly. AAPL is the ticker symbol, Apple Inc. sector's consumer technology. Why? Because they have ecosystem dominance. They have great services growth, the AI integration into their devices, which I still feel like it's kind of subpar. The $1 trillion buyback power, loyal customer base. It's just a good stock. Apple ain't going nowhere, no matter how angry we get year over year that they keep selling us the same daggone phone and just changing colors, but they ain't going nowhere. So Apple AAPL is the first one on our watch list. Okay. Next, we have Nvidia, one of my favorite stocks. A lot of our students have made so much money off of this company. All right. So Nvidia, obviously y'all probably all heard of it by now, but Nvidia Corporation, they are the semiconductor / AI sector. Why do we like them? Obviously the AI chip monopoly, 80% plus data center market share. They're just the leaders when it comes to AI. Okay. So Nvidia, NVDA. The next one here is Microsoft, MSFT. Microsoft, MSFT. Okay. Pretty self-explanatory there as well, right? Microsoft, the OG, right? They ain't going nowhere. And they're really, really putting, I guess I would say, like, making sure they remain relevant. They're doing a really good job of that, right? With this whole open AI partnership, I think it's so genius of them, but I think Microsoft's about to start taking off even more. Okay. So Microsoft, MSFT. Okay. Next we have Amazon, AMZN, AMZN. Okay. Is that one. Amazon, as we all know, is amazing. As my students know, I talk about Amazon all the time. I feel like it is the most underrated stock. I feel like it's such an underrated stock. Obviously, most of you guys probably know them more for their e-commerce, which most of us probably get. Amazon comes to our house every single day, but their e-commerce obviously is killing it. But in addition to that, their AWS, which is their Amazon Web Services, which is their cloud-based services, they have great profits with that. Pretty much every daggone business uses Amazon Web Services and their cloud services. So just great growth potential there. All right. So we got Amazon. We got Palantir. So ticker symbol PLTR, Palantir, their sector is AI software / defense tech. Government contracts have sticky revenue, all the things. When we first started purchasing Palantir within our Wealth Demystified community, it was like $17 a share, I think, when we first started buying it. So this has been a great one for us. All right. Now we also have Broadcom. Okay. Broadcom is semiconductor infrastructure as well. So custom AI chips, they're another leader. All right. In the whole AI chip space, ticker symbol AVGO. Okay. All right, ASML. So this is one of the only companies making this EUV I can never say that, lithography machines for advanced chips. They have a huge monopoly. And so they're a very expensive stock, but I still feel like they have so much upside potential. So this is one that even if you can't buy a whole share, you can get fractions of this share if you wanted to, just like how I just showed you. Okay. Candace said, do you own shares on all of the items? Yep, I do. I do actually. Me and my kids do. Yep. All right. So healthcare and biotech is the next industry. Healthcare and biotech is the next industry. Okay. All right, so Novo Nordisk, NVO is their ticker symbol, Novo Nordisk. Okay, so Novo Nordisk is one of the leaders, and you probably all heard of obviously Ozempic and Wegovy. They are the GLP-1 drug leader, Ozempic and Wegovy. Obviously, because the obesity epidemic, the diabetes market, they have great European stability, 12% plus growth is killing it, right? And it's only $47 a share. So Novo Nordisk is the other one for pharmaceutical sector. Okay. Then we have Eli Lilly. Eli Lilly, they have a competing GLP drug, Mounjaro, Zepbound, but still very, very great. Alzheimer drug approved. That's another reason why I like them. And the weight loss market is so huge. They're killing it. Eli Lilly. And no matter what goes on in the economy, people gonna buy their drugs. They're gonna buy their medicines, right? So this is another great one. Okay. So Eli Lilly, ticker symbol LLY. We also have ISRG, which is Intuitive Surgical. This is another really exciting one. This is in the medical devices / robotic space. Robotic surgery monopoly. Robotic surgery is huge right now, or really, really starting to take off. It's been proven, right, that robots typically have been performing better surgeries than humans, right? It removes the human error. Also, if robots don't have bad days, they don't have nobody getting on their nerves, but they come into work, whatever it may be, right? So ISRG, if you want exposure to that space. And now we're going to go into the defense and aerospace space, okay? Now, this is interesting too, especially a lot of these companies are probably going to do really, really well because, as you know, we are at odds with, I feel like everybody. America's at odds with everyone. And so when these announcements come of, Trump going into Venezuela or issues with Iran, et cetera, these defense companies tend to rise, right? The values of the stock prices typically go up because there's more need for defense stuff, right? So the first one here is Lockheed Martin, LMT. As we know, they're in the aerospace and defense sector. They've been around for forever. They have a great dividend yield as well. Okay. All right. So we got LMT, we got RTX. They're also in aerospace as well. So commercial aerospace recovery, defense missiles, et cetera. So RTX is the next one. And then we have Rocket Lab. So RKLB is Rocket Lab. Okay. They are they're a small satellite launch leader. A lot of just opportunity with their government contracts, all the things. They're only $44 a share as well. RKLB. All right, now we're going to go into some companies that are in the financials and payment space. Now, I was talking to our members about this the other day. This week was pretty interesting, right? With Trump trying to do this whole 10% credit card cap, which is it's insane. But anyway, the credit card companies are pissed about it, okay? They are not trying to let this happen. I did a YouTube video about it. I'm actually about to drop a more in-depth YouTube video about it. If you guys are not following me on YouTube, please make sure you go follow me. It's just Dominique Broadway. But this is going to be interesting, right? So Trump is trying to cap interest rates at 10%, which seems great. But unfortunately, the credit card companies are completely pushing back and basically saying that if you allow this to happen, this obviously will affect their revenue. They'll lose billions of dollars in revenue every single year. But they also are saying that they're going to cancel like 14 million credit cards. And that's insane because that's not what people need. So if people are not allowed to borrow at whatever rate they're borrowing at, or credit cards get shut off or whatever, they're going to have to go to other places that are going to be charging, or other financial products that are going to be charging even higher rates, right? So 30%, et cetera, payday loans, things of that nature. Okay, so JP Morgan Chase, one of the largest U.S. banks, just one of the leaders globally too when it comes to banking, is on that list. Then we have BlackRock, BLK, one of the largest U.S. banks as well. They're one of the leaders just in the financial industry in general. Okay, BlackRock, BLK. And then we have Visa, right? So they're a payment processor, as y'all know, also like American Express. But you'll notice if you look, all these companies were down this week, right? All these financials were down because they are also major credit card providers. Okay. And then we have Coinbase. So Coinbase is the cryptocurrency exchange, right? So they are a regulated U.S. crypto exchange. They are one of the the leading, I feel like one of the leading U.S. crypto exchanges. So ticker symbol COIN. And then we have the electric vehicles and energy space. Okay. Electric vehicles and energy space. All right. So we have here Tesla, right? Tesla. No matter how we feel about Elon, his little crazy self, Tesla's been killing it, just stock price wise, stock value wise. And then also outside of the cars, which have been kind of, they have the self-driving cars, which has a bright future. But outside of that, it's their robots. They're robots that they're starting to sell. Their Optimus robots. They have robot dogs. All these things. I think they're really like one of the main and leading companies in from that perspective. So they just have a lot of upside potential, right? And Elon's not going to let this company fail, essentially. So it's going to keep thriving. All right. So Tesla. And then we have NEE, which is Next Era Energy. They are a renewable energy / utilities sector. So they're the largest renewable energy producer in the US. All right. So they have solar and wind, battery, and they also have a nice 10% plus dividend. So this is a pretty good one. They're only $85 a share. Now we're hopping into a little bit in the cryptocurrency space. Okay. So for those of you that want some cryptocurrency exposure without actually purchasing crypto, we have a couple funds. So these are actually two separate funds, right? So we have IBIT, which is the iShares Bitcoin Trust. Okay. IBIT. And then we have the Fidelity Wise, Origin Bitcoin Fund. Okay. So these are both just funds that have just Bitcoin in them. I actually own Bitcoin as well, but these are just great funds that allow you to have that exposure without actually owning Bitcoin. All right. So these are two options there. All right. So now we're going to hop into a couple ETFs. So for any of you guys who are just like, oh my gosh, I love the individual stocks, but I really, really want something that's like set it and forget it. Keep it moving. I don't have to be checking in, et cetera, et cetera. Like myself, I was actually doing some trading this morning. If you're not into individual and you want to focus more on ETFs, these are some really, really great ones. All right. And this is a really great way, like I said, to have exposure, right? To have exposure to multiple different assets at once, right? So everything that I just showed you were individual stocks, right? So I showed you individual stocks earlier. A couple minutes ago. Now, these are all ETFs. So ETFs are exchange traded funds. Now, these funds, what make them unique, and just for anyone that does not know the difference between a stock versus a fund, a stock is just having ownership in like one company, represents ownership in that one company. So if you're buying stock in Apple, you're just buying stock in Apple. Okay. If you are purchasing a fund, it's like buying a basket of stocks. So instead of having just one company, you're going to have hundreds and sometimes thousands of companies in one single fund. Okay. So you'll see here, this is the SPDR S&P 500 ETF Trust. Now, this tracks the S&P 500. You guys probably have heard of the S&P 500. The S&P 500 is short for the Standard & Poor's 500. It tracks the 500 largest US companies. Okay. So when you buy this one fund, the SPY, it is going to give you exposure to 500 of the largest companies. Okay. And tracks the S&P 500. So the SPY is the name of the fund. It's another fund I also like to trade sometimes. But the SPY is the fund. And like I said, it's going to give you diversification across 500 of the largest US companies. Okay. So that's the SPY. And then we have the VTI. So the VTI is the Vanguard Total Stock Market ETF, the Vanguard Total Stock Market ETF. So this right here basically tracks the entire stock market. So 3,500 plus stocks. Okay. It's truly a set it and forget it type of investment. Okay. VTI is the ticker symbol VTI, right? VTI. Okay. Next, we have the QQQ. So the QQQ tracks the NASDAQ, right? So this fund is more, I would say, concentrated in like tech innovation companies. So you're gonna see like NVIDIA, Apple, like all those talents, like all those big companies, whatever, Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, NVIDIA are some of the top holdings. Very, very, very growth focused. I also love trading the QQQ as well. So the QQQ name it's called the Invesco QQQ Trust. And this is another really just set it and forget it. It's going to give you exposure to just all those big companies that I mentioned and more. And it really tracks the NASDAQ. Okay. So that's the QQQ. Okay. They said, what stock do you buy? What do you mean? Tell me, clarify what you mean. Like what stock do you buy? Like when, like explain Give me more context there. And do you have to know the name of the stocks to buy? So you have to know, obviously, either the ticker symbol or the name so that you can type it in to buy it. Yeah, so you have to at least know the name or the ticker symbol. And if you don't know the ticker symbol, you always just type in the name, and it's usually going to just come up. Okay. Any questions about any of those that I just shared? Because now I'm going to show you how to actually make money with these stocks. Any questions about anything that we just went over? Real quick, let me know. If not, just give me, we good or something like that. So I know y'all still here. We can keep it moving. Y'all good? Let me get y'all. Let me know if y'all here still. I love it. Okay, perfect. Make sure I ain't just talking to the screen. Okay. I love it. Can I buy fractions of ETFs? Yep, you can. So you can just go and say, hey, I want to buy $20 of this ETF or $30. Yep. So you can do that. Okay. Awesome. Good. Nina, so are these, you noted, high or low risk? So it just kind of depends. Stocks are always considered high risk, right? Because your investment is in one position. ETFs are typically less risk or lower risk because your money is spread out. Okay. Awesome. Perfect. Y'all are good. Do you need a broker? You don't need a broker, but you need a brokerage account, right? So obviously you have to have an account with a Robinhood or Fidelity or Webull or E-Trade, but you have to have a brokerage account to actually purchase the investments. Okay. Any other questions? All right. Everybody else is good. If you have any other questions, go ahead and drop them in the chat. Okay. All right, cool. Everyone's good on YouTube. Love it. All right, so how do you make money with these stocks? There's a lot of ways to actually make money with these stocks. This is the fun part, okay? So how to make money with these. So one of the first ways to make money is just building your wealth portfolio, right? Using a very simple strategy that I call it dollar cost averaging. Essentially, it's a financial term, but it's dollar cost averaging. I like to call it vanilla investing. Just buying and holding, nothing fancy. Okay. And this is really mainly what I do for my kids, just dollar cost averaging every single month. They have a set amount that goes from my checking account to their brokerage account and just buys them more shares every single month. That's dollar cost averaging. And essentially all you're doing is each month you're purchasing the same dollar amount of stock. So if you're saying, hey, I have $500, then maybe you're going to put, 250 of that into Apple or 250 into Nvidia, but you have it set to automatically happen every single month. Every single month, you are going to buy these same exact stocks or the same exact dollar amount. Very boring, very simple, but one of the best ways to grow wealth. It just means you have to be consistent. That's it. And honestly, you don't even got to really be consistent. It's just setting it up one time and having it going for you as a recurring investment happening automatically. Okay. Another way is trading, right? Trading. So, is trading, right? So you can trade all these stocks and the ETFs I showed you, and you can make daily and weekly income. So I was doing some trading this morning. What was I trading this morning? Did some light trading this morning. I traded the XSP, I traded Riot, I traded the SPX, traded Nvidia as well. Did a little over 3K. I wasn't doing anything major this morning, so I was doing other stuff. But you can trade these as well, right? So you can trade the stocks or the options. So these are two different examples by using options, right? Or you can also trade the stock. We love to trade options at Wealth Demystified because it allows you to control hundreds and control more shares of stock without actually purchasing the shares. Okay. So you'll see here, this was a profit of $21,000 on Meta because the value of the stock went down. In the other scenario, this is Starbucks. I made $9,000 plus when the stock went up. So you can also trade these stocks as well. Okay. Then we have dividends, right? So for those of you that don't know what dividends are a company's way, right, of sharing in their earnings with you, right? So obviously we make money when the value of the stock goes up if you're just buying and holding, but you also can receive these dividend payments. Like I was giving you guys an example earlier, right? where let's say myself and my kids, we get dividend payments, every quarter, every month, whenever they get deposited. And then those dividend payments are directly deposited straight into your checking account, not your checking account, into your brokerage account. And then you can just take that money out or leave it in cash or whatever, or you can have them set to reinvest, which is what I like to do, right? For myself and my kids. So whenever these, let's say Apple or whoever the company is, deposits money from the dividend payment, it's set to reinvest. So then it's going to the account is going to automatically purchase more shares of that same stock with the money that we receive from the dividend payment. Okay. So you can receive dividends as well. There's some people who, and the goal is, especially as you start to get towards retirement or even, retire or whatever, to have your money generating enough cash flow so that you can live off of it. So you're not just withdrawing down from it, right? That's what you don't want, right? You don't want to get into retirement. And you're like, hey, I have this money saved for retirement. And then you're having to just slowly withdraw from it. And then eventually it just runs out. That's not what you want. You want to make sure that your portfolio is continuously getting dividend payments, getting money, et cetera, so that it generates cash flow. Okay. Keisha said, what does that mean, trading? So trading is basically when you're buying and selling investments, right? So let's say this morning I was trading NVIDIA. Actually, I put these in yesterday at the market close. I put in some orders to purchase NVIDIA calls. And then this morning I expected NVIDIA to be up, and it was. And so I sold it. So when you're trading, you're making a profit in a shorter time frame. So this could be in like this. I was doing some trading this morning. I was in some of the trades for 5 minutes. Some I may be in for a couple nights or a couple days or whatever. But trading is when you're buying and selling in a short time frame to make a profit. Okay. Just in case, I use E-Trade and Charles Schwab. I find E-Trade harder to use when purchasing. Yeah, E-Trade is it used to be, I feel like it was user-friendly back in the day, but nowadays it's not as user-friendly as it used to be. No, not at all. Okay. So that is pretty much 3 different ways. Okay. Just to recap real quick. So just building your portfolio, you can do the strategy of dollar cost averaging, purchasing the same dollar amount every single month. Pretty straightforward. Okay. Pretty straightforward. And then that way is going to really truly make sure that your portfolio is getting built. Then you can trade as well if you want. So that's like myself. I like to trade on a pretty much daily basis, sometimes 3-4 times a week, to make money on a daily basis or even weekly. Okay. So there's ways that you can use these exact stocks to build your portfolio, also to trade as well, and then also dividend payments. Okay. And now I also want to note for you guys that not all of these investments, not all of these stocks or all stocks pay dividends, and that's perfectly fine. Okay. Because some stocks just have really, really great growth. So let's say NVIDIA specifically, they do pay a dividend, but it's a penny. It's a very, very small dividend versus Amazon, who does not pay dividends because they consider themselves, I guess, kind of like a startup still for some reason. And, because of that, they decide to use their money instead of paying dividends to actually invest into other companies and buy other companies, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. So yeah, so those are the ways. Okay. So now this is the difference, right? We've gone over a lot of different things. But let me tell you guys the difference, right? Because at this point, everyone now has access to the information, which I love. Okay. Now, the only thing that's separating people who build wealth, right, from those who don't is honestly whether y'all just take action with any of the things that we talked about, and also having the right support behind you. That is really how all this starts to work and work efficiently, right? And make sure that it's getting done. So the real question isn't whether you can do this, because I can tell y'all I'm not the smartest girl at all, but if I can do this, y'all can do this as well. So absolutely you can do this, right? But the question is whether you want to keep trying to piece this together on your own, right? Which many of you guys have been doing for years and it's not working, or whether you're ready to have a proven system and real support, right? And daily guidance behind you as you start to build wealth. Okay. And that is one thing that I want to show you now. Okay. Because essentially, let me tell you something. Y'all don't need any more information, right? You do not need any more information. All right. And many of y'all are going to stop here, and that's perfectly fine. You leave with your note, your screenshots, your good intentions. That's perfectly fine, right? People who join our programs, they are leaving with a system, right? They also have a community, which is what many people need nowadays. They don't want to feel like the only person in their group, in their squad, whoever they know, that is trying to build wealth, right? And they're also leaving with a plan that they can actually follow. So let me show you really quickly what this looks like, all right? And if you guys still have questions, drop them in the chat and I'm going to answer them in a second. But I want to invite all of you guys to join our Wealth Demystified community, right? So if you want to be in a community, right, that has the programs, the resources, the live sessions, support, and technology to help you become successful investor and trader, then that's what we have to offer. And we're doing something really, really, really special, right? Because obviously with our courses, they're pre-recorded, which is great. We have the community and we have a lot of live classes throughout the month, but we're doing a special cohort for February where we're going to be walking you through and guiding you through how to go from confused to a actual successful investor and trader. So we're doing a special cohort group. So it's going to be a lot more live sessions and hand holding for the month of February, which I'm really, really excited about. And my goal is to make sure that all of you guys are not just successful investors, but also able to understand how simple it can be to start generating money trading on a daily basis or a couple days a week as well. All right. So when you join our Wealth Demystified program, when you join now, you're going to be able to automatically be in our special February 1st cohort, but you'll still be able to start now and still be in that cohort that kicks off in February. Okay. So you're going to unlock access to crypto, options, and investing demystified. So 3 signature programs. Okay. What you're going to learn with these programs, just to give you a high level. So with crypto demystified, you're going to learn the ins and outs of all things crypto. We actually have one of my good friends, Bilal Little, teaching this crypto demystified. He is actually an executive at the New York Stock Exchange. You're going to learn the ins and outs of crypto. You're going to learn investing. So how to trade stocks, how to build your wealth portfolio, trading options, binary options, how to manage risk, how to make daily income trading, right, from anywhere, how to pick the best investments, how to read charts and indicators. I love that as well. The difference between investing and trading, how to transfer wealth to the next generation. You're going to learn all of that in investing demystified. Options demystified is going to teach you even more advanced option trading strategies as well. Okay. So people join our course for many different reasons, or our community for many different reasons. Some people join Wealth Demystified because they're tired of guessing. They're tired of guessing. They're trying to figure it out on their own. They need accountability. They want a shortcut, right? And this is why I hire coaches all the time. I want a shortcut through the confusion. I want a shortcut that's going to save me money, right? But at the end of the day, right, most of them just end up staying because they feel supported. Their portfolios start to grow. They feel like they understand everything now, and they start to see their wealth increase, right? And they feel confident, and that's what I love as well. So here's a couple things some of our students are saying. One of our students, Tina, said her portfolio was able to grow hundreds of thousands of dollars. Phyllis was able to quadruple her net worth, which is absolutely amazing. Bridger said that 2 weeks, nothing but major gains to report, right? I love that. I love that. So when you guys join, you also get access to our Finances Demystified app. Okay, so in this app, you'll access all the courses, all the community, everything is right there in one place. Okay, we have the private community and feed. It's like having a group chat of friends that are just talking about money and investing every single day. Okay. Then we also have our show, Beat the Bell. So Beat the Bell takes place 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We host Beat the Bell. It's just a short 15-minute or less show, audio only. And we're just talking about what's happening in the market, things I may be investing, things we're considering investing or trading or whatever it may be. It's just a quick market update show that takes place 3 days a week. So you get access to that when you join Wealth Demystified as well. Our live trading review classes, so those are like classes we actually had one this week. We'll review top trades, that your trades that you're in. If you have questions about your trades, we'll review those together. We'll look at trade opportunities together as well. And then our investment analysis class, where we talk about our long-term investments. Okay. And then you also get access to our virtual events. Like we just hosted a money mindset workshop. So our students got to go for free, but it was general public had to pay. So you get access to those things. We bring on guest experts, book and podcast club, early access to our in-person events. We actually have a couple coming up, which I'm really excited about. And then we'll also be adding, I'm really excited, is accountability partner pairing. So when you guys join, we're going to be giving you the ability to say, hey, I want an accountability partner, and we're going to partner you with somebody. Okay. So you're not going to feel alone at all, because you can have me, you got my team, and now you got your accountability partner. So it ain't no reason whatsoever for you not to be successful. Point blank. Okay. No reason whatsoever. So every single month, we also drop a calendar. So like I said, we have a calendar every single month with live classes for you to join. And then also everyone that's joining now, you'll also be able to be in our special February cohort. We're doing something really, really special to make sure that everyone is starting and going through this together. Okay. So I'm throwing in a couple bonuses for you guys. Our 30-day wealth sprint. So as soon as you join, you're going to get an email every single day with a quick little thing you can do in like 10 minutes or less to kick off your wealth journey. So you're going to get some small action items. Also, everyone that joins our Wealth Demystified Elite program or package, I would say, you also get access to our hint technology, which literally gives you buy and sell signals directly on your chart. Absolutely phenomenal. Okay. So just to kind of recap, full access to all the Wealth Demystified programs, our Wealth Demystified community, our bootcamp, Millionaire Mindset, 5-day Wealth Building Challenge, and Hint, Value $24,902. I'm obviously not going to charge you that, right? But what is it worth to you, right? To have thousands of dollars extra a month, a portfolio that's growing year over year over year, to have six-figure investment accounts for yourself and your kids. Like, what is it worth to you? For me, it would be absolutely priceless. Okay. So to join our Wealth Demystified Elite, that's going to give you the community, the programs, also going to give you our hint technology. It's normally $1,367 for the entire year, right? But because we're live, for those of you watching live, you're able to get an extra 25% off, and you're able to lock in the entire year for $997. So for $997, you'll be able to, you can join right now. You'll also be in our February kickoff cohort as well, which is going to be really, really exciting. You're going to get access to all the courses, the community, all the bonuses I mentioned, and you're going to get the hint technology as well, which is going to literally put buy and sell signals right on your chart. Okay. You can also utilize elective if you want to break those payments up. And the extra 25% off is only while we are live. Let me put the button up here for you guys. Okay. So the link is up for anyone that wants to join in lock in the entire year. You're saving the most money. Boom. Okay. So that is our Wealth Demystified Elite. Now, if you want to pay monthly, that's an option as well. You're not going to save as much money, but you can still be in, and that's all that matters. So you can join our Wealth Demystified Elite to get the community programs, the bonuses, and the hint technology. It's $197 a month. You can be in right now. Okay. And you can still get that extra 25% off. It's already reflected. And then if you don't want our hint technology at all, but you want to join the communities, the programs, and just be up in there and learning everything, but without the technology, it's only $97 a month. So you could join literally right now for $97 a month. And you would still also be joining now and in the February cohort. All right. So the links are up. I want to make sure that you guys have the links for both of those. And if you guys have any questions about anything that we talked about today, about any of the, what do you call it? Any of the, anything that we talked about today, anything I taught today, or any questions about any of the programs, let me know in the chat. I'm gonna take a sip of water and I'm gonna jump into the Q&A, okay? Awesome. Okay, so let me see what questions y'all have, and I'll make sure you guys see this. All right. So any questions you guys have? Here we go. Let me see. Any question I have? Okay. So is stock lending good? So it's not bad. I mean, it's just basically, it kind of locks up your stock. So if you have stocks that are just sitting, it basically allows the brokerage company to pay you for allowing your shares to be lent out. So it's not bad. I don't personally do it, but it's not bad. Do these programs make sense if you're starting from zero? Yes, it does. It does. So if you're starting from zero, this is great, especially as we're having the cohort that you'll be able to be in as well. So yes, this is definitely great if you are starting from scratch. Most of the people who join our programs are starting from scratch. We have people who are also advanced as well, and they're just kind of learning different things within the program. But if you are brand new to all of this and you're trying to learn how to start investing and trading, then this program is going to be great for you. Okay. Roz, and I'm working on getting out of debt so that I can have money left to invest. Would you recommend I stop contributing to my retirement account for now to be able to get as much on my paycheck to pay off the debt? That's actually a really good question, Roz. So this is my answer. My answer is I wouldn't say completely stop contributing, but even if you want to reduce how much you're contributing, because this is the thing. Who cares about retirement if you can't get through now, right? If you can't get through today, or if you have all this debt that's costing you more money. So my thing is this: if you plan to completely stop contributing to your retirement plan, make sure that you set a date to restart, right? You have to be serious about it, because I've seen people say, okay, I'm going to stop contributing to my retirement plan, for a little bit, to use this money for something else, and then never start back. So just promise yourself or set some sort of date or reminder to make sure that you are going to restart. But I don't think that's a bad idea at all, especially if it's going to allow you to start to be able to use that money to grow a little bit more. So I think it makes sense, but make sure that you set a time to actually start to reinvest, to start investing again, and or just make sure that you are maybe just reducing the amount. But I don't think that's a good idea. Okay. How can we learn short-term trading, when to buy and sell and make profit? So in our Wealth Demystified program, we teach that. We teach all of that in there. Okay. Hey, Los Angeles. Okay, I love it. Yolanda said, I have gotten good benefit from your expertise, books, and other products. Uh, yes. Okay, cool. Giselle will help you with that so that you can Giselle, can you help Yolanda? I think she needs like a link. But thank you. I appreciate that. I'm so happy you got a good benefit for everything. Lakeisha said, is it better to invest in ETFs or individual stocks? Really good question. So it just kind of depends on what your goals are, right? So I think ETFs are great. If you can have a mix of ETFs and individual stocks, is awesome. If you're just starting, I would say maybe do one or the other, right? So ETFs are great because let me tell you the difference. Basically, when you invest in ETF, because your money is spread out, you're only going to get a certain amount of return, right? So you're only going to get 13, 14, maybe 15, maybe 18% a year, et cetera, versus an individual stock. Let's say Nvidia specifically did what, 48% last year, right? So if you want higher growth, individual stocks are going to be better all day long, right? But if you just want really good growth without a lot of risk, then ETFs are the way to go. Okay. Yes. So our hint technology is, and actually I might be able to show you really quickly. Where is it? Where's trading? Okay, here we go. I'll show you really quickly what hint is, just so you can have a visual. Give me 1 second to open it up. So our hint technology, essentially what it is, okay, is this here. So let me show you. So when you guys, if you look at charts, many of you guys may not know how to chart yet, but no worries. We'll teach you how to do that, how to look at charts. So when you guys look at charts, they probably look like this, right? This is trading view, right? As my daughter likes to say, it's naked, right? But when we add our hint technology on it, and this is just one component that hint does, it gives you these signals, right? So let's say like this morning, I was actually trading, right earlier, and I was somewhere around here. But anyway, you'll see you're getting buy signals, you're getting sell signals, right? So let's say for the day, you're in a buy, et cetera, right? So literally you're getting these signals on the chart so you know exactly when to buy, exactly when to sell. That is what hint is. Okay. All right. What other questions you guys have? Let's see. Hold on. Awesome. Welcome to all of our new members that have joined Wealth Demystified. I'm super excited to see you guys. I'll see y'all tomorrow morning for Beat the Bell. welcome to all the new students. Okay, what other questions do we have? Wait, okay. How do you dollar cost average on Robinhood? Also, do you have a list of stocks that provide high dividends? I currently have GE, but the dividends are fractions of a penny. Yep, so you can always Google to kind of find some. We have some somewhere in our community, we have it listed, some of our high dividend ones. As far as dollar cost averaging, you just set it for a recurring investment. Okay. If you can't keep up, yep, you can cancel at any time. So if you're doing monthly, you can cancel at any time. All right. If you're locking in the annual, you get me for a whole year. All right. I love it. All right. Cool. Where's the other one? Did that one. Okay, cool. How much is it to purchase your hint technology for the year by itself? So hint by itself is, what is it, $97 a month? $97 a month by itself. Jakia said, is it always good to buy when stocks are down? It kind of depends on what your game plan is. I love to purchase stocks when they're down, but you also need to kind of like not just buy them just because they're down, right? You want to understand, why are they down? Are they down just because of what's happening in the market, or is it down because the stock is going to crap? So sometimes, yes, it can be good. Sometimes no. That's why it's important to understand when it is good to buy when it's down and when it's not, right? So yeah. Also too, the extra 25% off that I'm offering is only while we're live. So as soon as I hit end, and I'm about to end, I actually have another call to hop to, it's going to go back to 1367. Okay. So if you want the extra 25% off, it is only while we are live. Okay. Any other questions you guys have before we wrap? All right. You can sign up at any time. The extra 25% off is over as soon as I hit end. Thank you, Miami. I appreciate it. Awesome, y'all. Okay. Any other questions before we go? Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please do me a favor. Oh, also too, the extra 25% off, like I said, is only while we're live. So if you want to take advantage of it, go ahead and click that link, okay, to get these prices. If you have a question, you can book a call with John from my team. He can do a quick 15-minute call with you, identify anything that's holding you back, help you create a plan, see if Wealth Demystified is a good fit, or any other questions you guys have. So if you want to book a call with John, Giselle, can you drop the link for anyone that wants to book a call with John? All right. Any other questions you guys have? And like I said, the extra 25% off ends as soon as I hit end. Okay. Any other questions we have? Awesome. Awesome. Perfect. Awesome. Yeah, I think we're good. Okay. All right. Well, thank you all so much. I think I got all the questions. Thank you all so much for being here today. This has been so fun. I enjoyed teaching you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed learning. Do me a favor, if nothing else, please make sure that you implement something that we learned today. Please don't let another year go by where you're like, oh, I should have started investing. I should have started and you didn't. Okay. If you would love to join our programs, you could get the extra 25% off. I love teaching you guys. So hopefully you do join our Wealth Demystified program. And shout out to everyone that did join. I'm so excited to welcome all of you to the program. Okay. If you want to book a call with John, just so you know, the link is there. Jimmy, there's a link there that Giselle just posted that you can click. Okay. All right. Thank you all so much for joining. I appreciate all of you. Have an absolutely amazing day and I'll see you soon. Okay. Thanks. Bye-bye.